Howdy folks, today we are back with yet another huge list of bug fixes and changes to No Man's Sky Next. The experimental branch went live with another one a few hours ago. It is a little difficult to work out what version this will be, and that's because a seemingly PlayStation only patch was released a few days ago and listed as 1.56, so we're going to assume that this new patch is 1.57. Before we get into 1.57, I'll quickly go over the 1.56 changes, of which no official patch notes were released on nomansky.com. So if you are not a PlayStation player, you may wish to skip to the timestamp on the screen now to get to 1.57 changes. Fixed an animation issue. Added the base archive quest for old saves. This appears at least to be the quest to gain the medium refiner and other such things from the base terminal, but can't be certain. Fixed an issue that prevented pre-next saves from accessing the base computer archive missions. Addressed an issue where some non-existent base parts were showing in the guide. This is certainly handy. It was very annoying to see unobtainable blueprints throughout the entirety of Atlas Rises, and such a simple fix too. It required changing a single value per item. Addressed a bug that made melee boost jumping overly hard to do. I love how this original bug was so loved that they now fix it when the bug doesn't work properly. Texture quality and streaming improved. Made further adjustments to the farming timers. This would be the initial one during the PC experimental, for example taking Solar Vine from 48 hours down to 16. Added fixes for crashing issues. Added fixes for stuttering and lag issues. Various performance and stability improvements. It would seem that 1.56 was kind of the second part of 1.55 that I listed in a pinned comment on the 1.55 video after they added more. I think they went straight to certification for the consoles with 1.55 to move it along faster as it was extremely quick to come out, and then added the second part as a hotfix later. If this is true, it would make sense that they did not release official notes on the site, as a 1.55 note already included these changes, but why wasn't listed as 1.55.1 or something is beyond me. And now onto the 1.57 changes. Remember folks that these changes are, as of the time of recording this video, in experimental, so are not yet live, but will be live either by the end of this week or some point of next week. Fixed an issue that prevented planets from being added to the Discovery timeline when exiting certain ship models. This is an issue that seemed to arise from the 1.55 update. I didn't hear about it at all before then, but glad they got on it quickly. It was an infuriating bug. Fixed an issue that prevented players from using the Pulse engine to escape between waves of Sentinel space fighters. Very handy, the seemingly endless waves of Sentinel ships were impossible to escape without going into the space station, of which you may be very far from. Fixed an issue that could cause base NPC workers to become unresponsive after moving, deleting your base. Definitely a good fix, a number of people had commented about this one. Substantially increased the length of time fuel lasts in the hydroponic trays. I expect of course that this was an oversight when they increased the grow times, but they have fixed it now, so good. Fixed a crash related to creatures. Fixed a crash related to terrain generation. Both vague, but fewer crashes are always good. Fixed for an issue with PC shader compilation when the game is first booted, which would occasionally result in a crash. This one has always been around, long before Next, but was rare and didn't result in damage, so I wasn't too bothered by it. Various performance issues. Good. Various improvements to load times, approximately 5 to 10% improvement to warp times, 30% improvement to initial game load. Oh wow, excellent. The load times from warping and such had increased massively with the next update, so I'm glad they've made some optimizations there. Fixed a shader generation to boost performance on lower spec PCs. Fixed an issue that incorrectly limited the number of storage containers that could be built on the freighter. This doesn't specify which way they have altered the limitation, but I expect it is how some were being prevented from putting one of their containers or more on their freighter due to the limit being reached. Fixed an issue that could prevent construction in the freighter base. Fixed an issue that could cause the nearby buildings scan on the signal booster to fail. Fixed an issue that prevented exploration-focused frigates from charging their scanners. Fixed an issue that prevented damaged frigates from being completely repaired. I thought this was fixed. It is for me, but have heard from many that they still experience the issue. Hopefully it's fixed for good this time. Fixed an issue where players could start their game in inappropriate systems when starting in multiplayer. I'm very curious what they consider inappropriate. Maybe something to do with systems without a space station and so unable to finish the quests? Marked icons are now automatically cleared on arrival at the marked target. I actually thought it already did this, though this is not good if it also does it for buried items, as you kinda need it to remain there even when on top of it. Fixed a number of cases where the HUD would prompt to mark icons that did not need marking. Improved target locking for ship PvP. Ooh, swish swish. Improved the appearance of HUD markers on player ships. Fixed a number of visual issues around using the analysis visor in very specific circumstances. It actually says analyzer visor, which is just confusing. Improved the mapping of the Steam controller. Removed an obsolete building product from the blueprint analyzer. I have no idea what this part is and wish they had specified. Personally, I just farmed the salvage technology and blindly purchased everything. Combat music now triggers when fighting biological horrors. Oh cool, make it more dramatic and get that adrenaline going. Slightly increase the damage dealt by biological horrors. I'm fine with this. I quite like the idea of them being something you must avoid a hit from no matter what, makes them more challenging. Fixed an issue that could cause expedition rewards to artificially increase after save loading. I had no idea about this and wasn't looking out for it. I hope I hadn't pointlessly gained from this. Fixed an issue where the personal force field could be deployed at 0% charge. I've got to say here, I had no idea it required charging, have yet to deep dive the multi-tool blueprint tech. Fixed an issue where the mining beam and other weapon effects displayed the wrong colour in multiplayer. I did think it was odd when my mining beam was red. Fixed an issue where the screen on the multi-tool would display the wrong ammo count for the Blaze Javelin. Fixed an issue where the multi-tool was invisible in photo mode. Good. We go to a lot of effort to get our beautiful experimental and alien multi-tools. I want it to be shown off, though the scale could be a little better. It does look a little tiny against me. Fixed an issue where the personal force field would remain in-world forever when cycling all weapon modes. Fixed an issue where meleeing while sprinting could cause an animation glitch. Improved the appearance of clouds in 4K 1440p modes. Clouds, ever the topic of discussion, but they do look beautiful, don't they? Especially when they aren't having a weird contrast issue around the edges of Twilight. Visual improvements made to some exotic biomes. Always good, their lack of anything but strange minerals and flora can get old quick. Visual improvements made to space station technology merchants. Increase the visibility of underground toxic hazards. Visual improvements to buried technology modules. There was also something else. I've heard from a number of people in the comments about the refining nanites mechanic being patched. These comments came just as 1.56 was released on the PlayStation, and for what I can tell has only been from PlayStation players. It's very possible that these are just trolls, but I like to be sure, so if anyone on the PlayStation platform could let me know if they are currently able to refine platinum and runaway mould into nanites at a 5:1 ratio, that would be fantastic. I will of course, as usual, update on this in the pinned comment when I get some replies. The pinned comment will also be used, as with other patches, if any more changes or bug fixes are added to experimental before the patch is released. If you are curious what I'm on about with the refining of nanites, you can check out the refining nanites video linked in the description from a few days ago where I had a look at some methods to do it. But really the best method is just to find a vendor in a wealthy system that sells runaway mould, buy it all and refine it to nanites. If that seems far too easy for you, then gaining various things from missions and such to refine to gold and silver, then to platinum and then to nanites is also an option. It feels far too easy that way. And that's your lot. There are a fair few very noteworthy changes in there, and then a ton of little ones that are just kinda nice to have. I'm still collecting procedural data from your modules, so if anyone is willing to help, please do click the link in the description and submit the stats from any ship, multi-tool or exosuit procedural modules you have installed. I currently have between 8 and 900 submissions overall, but need close to 1000 per section to be able to work out basic curves with any accuracy, so any help is most definitely appreciated. It's worth noting that in the last patch, patch 1.5, they reintroduced trade goods. They may not seem it on first look, but trading is still now the highest paying legit unit making method. Before the next update I made an extremely comprehensive guide on trading, and awesomely it is still very relevant. The only thing that is outdated is what I refer to in the guide as the system priming method. In the guide it details a method of using named systems and beacons to warp between systems and then immediately head to the trading post that offers the greatest prices. Well, the best method now is of course to create a base terminal at each trading post in your route and simply teleport between them, covering a huge amount of ground in a tiny amount of time. With this change, I don't see why you couldn't break 1 billion an hour, as even with warping in Atlas Rises and pulsing to each trading post, you easily hit 175 million an hour. I haven't done all the maths yet, and I'm saying this here as the guide is a low priority due to the original being almost entirely still accurate, so I've linked it in the description for those who wish to view. If you need any help with anything, don't hesitate to ask in the comments or via our Discord linked in the description. If we can help, we certainly will, though of course, if it's fixing a bug, well, I can't make a patch for you. If you wish to help support Zane's World, there is a Patreon with just one tier at $1 or more, a Streamlabs link, and of course a fantastic way to support the channel is to simply share the content. Sharing really does help get the word out. Thanks for watching folks and have a fantastic day.